Hello and welcome to Q Today, our show for March the 23rd to the 26th. I'm Ron Campbell, one of your hosts for today's show.
Hi, and I'm Mitch Vick, your other host, sitting in for Allison Duddy, who is enjoying her time back east at her wheelchair curling championships. We're all wishing her well with that. Here's a picture of a little friend that had some of us have been seeing outside. I guess spring is coming.
Mitch, I think the guy just got his GPS all mixed up because I don't think spring is coming at all. And talking about Allison, I have a little comment. We received an email from her, so I'll read briefly from that later on.
Perfect.
And talking about birds and spring and all that, I thought I saw a flock of geese, but it wasn't. It was a bunch of crows masquerading as geese. Anyhow, we want to thank you for tuning in and watching us. And just to remind you, our weekday show runs from Tuesday 5 p.m. to Friday at 8 a.m. And the weekend offering airs from Friday 5 p.m. to Tuesday at 8 a.m. We broadcast every day at 8 a.m., 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. Please tune in for us.
Before we get into the news and the program, don't forget you can reach us by our new email address, which is qtoday@qcatv.ca. And as always, thanks to the Quesnel Caribou Observer for providing many of our news stories. Autumn, Annie, and Tracy have been wonderful to work with. And if you'd like some information about how to sponsor our group, please give Nate a shout at 250-992-3650.
We always do get some excellent. In fact, I'm using one of Annie's articles today. So we do get some excellent help. And remember, we only do the highlights here on Q Today. And if you want the full story, please pick up your exciting copy of the Quesnel Caribou Observer. And Mitch, start us off.
So thanks, Ron. Yesterday was a big day for Quesnel. As you know, Rick Henson had 25 years ago started the Man in Motion Tour. In celebration of that tour, Rick initiated a celebration tour. Some of his representatives and participants were in town yesterday at Spirit Square. Fantastic event, and we've got some great shots and footage we'd like to show you. Again, great event, and the community showed some great support for this Rick Henson tour.
Every time we have something like that, it always seems to be well attended.
Absolutely.
Especially at Spirit Square. And they also closed off the street. I've forgotten from where to where, but they've closed it off until about 6 o'clock, I think,
Absolutely.
that day. So, no, it's kind of nice to celebrate what he has done. Moving along to community affairs, the North Caribou Multi-Center Fundraising Committee, that's a mouthful, is gearing up for heavy-duty campaigning with approximately, or not approximately, exactly 11 community events. They are going to range from a golf ball drop, which I'm going to attend, as I'll need some of those, and arena and theater ticket seat sales, concerts, dinners, and they're going to offer a payroll donation type of ability, and the special events days. So those will all be coming up. Stay tuned on that. Their chair, Eric Wickman, had this to say: attendees from both arena user groups and the arts community gave us a chance to present information on partnerships that we believe will benefit both the fundraising campaign and other community groups. He went on to say that he's looking at attending other groups' meeting to present information on the North Caribou Multi-Center, which will feature a 1,600-seat NHL-sized arena and a 450-seat performing arts theater. More on this will be coming up in the future, Mitch.
Thanks, Ron. Definitely looking forward to seeing this campaign progress. So hopefully this project can get some legs and get finished. But there's more to City Hall happenings than just talking about expenses. Lately, Council, in the last Council session, Council will reduce our 2012 property tax increase by 1% to approximately 3.34%. And as we knew from prior, it was supposed to be higher. So this is good news. This is thanks to a surplus of some big money, over $200,000. The surplus also allows for an additional $140,000 to be transferred to the Quesnel Works Capital Investment Reserve. The overall surplus from 2011 came from savings in maintenance, council costs, higher revenues from permits, landfill fees, and lower costs from council. Also in city news, $1.8 million in capital projects were approved, which included many items including paving projects, storm lines, and a new ladies' washroom at the Public Works Yard. And lastly, unfortunately on a little down note, we can expect a rise in our water and sewer frontage taxes by 2%. So a little bit of good, a little bit of bad there, Ron.
Well, you get 2% plus 3% in math. Let's see, that makes 5%. Plus a few other outside things are going up. Hydro, gas, of course your fuel for your car is up. You add up all of those things and it's getting pretty high.
Pretty tight, yeah.
Yeah, although they're trying to do the best they can to give us the best for our tax dollar. But still, I prefer all the services and pay exactly the same rather than paying more all the time. But thank you for that,
Certainly.
Mitch. And on other segments, we have talked about this trial, as you have, Mitch. It's still going on, and the trial continues with Jeffrey Steinbrunner, the alleged victim, who told the court that he knew the men prior to the incident, as he was working for one of the accused, Clarence Gill, he was tending a marijuana grow-op for him in '07. He told jurors it was Clarence Gill who smashed his face in with a aluminum bat, and Brad VanDayke was the one who shot him once in the stomach and once in the arm. It appears that this was some sort of retaliation for a robbery that took place at the grow-up that Steinbrenner was supposed to be looking after when he was away at his girlfriend's home. Gill felt it was a little suspicious how the robbery took place while he was away, and the trial itself is supposed to wrap up this Friday. So we'll see what takes place from there.
Yeah, very interesting story there. On a lighter note, as you know, we've got some pretty darn good people in this town, and two young men have come to our attention. Mitch Young and Zach Bosom have undertaken to longboard from Quesnel to Vancouver to raise money and awareness for cancer research. And I wasn't quite sure what longboarding was, but as I've been taught, it's like skateboarding, only with a much larger board and a little bigger wheels. The duo plan to board for 10 hours a day on their trek and then camp at night on their journey to Vancouver. The expected trip should take about 10 days. They hope to attract some other participants in their venture. And if you have some questions and perhaps want to join the journey, you can give Mitch and Zach a shout at their Facebook page, and we'll post that on your screen here. And of course, at Q Today, we'll keep you posted on developments with this story and Mitch and Zach's progress.
You know, good luck to both of them doing that, but the only thing with wheels on it that I like to get into is a car. I'll leave the longboard to them.
The athleticism required for that kind of venture, imagine, I've tried skateboarding a few times in my life, and I can't imagine skateboarding to Vancouver.
No, I cannot either. So
Yeah.
good luck to both
Good luck
of
to
them.
them, yeah.
Yes, that's for sure. Once again, Annie Gallant has given us a very neat story on an author and friend of hers, Cindy Bradner. She wrote a novel called Exit the Unicorns, and it's a series, and this new book is Flights of Angels. And Annie interview goes on to describe not only the author, but a little bit about Annie herself. As Annie loves to read, and she loves interviewing Cindy. Cindy outlined how she goes about writing her novels that are based on a love triangle and the Irish problems. For those of you who know, the Irish problems, of course, was between England and Ireland and the troubles that they had there. Annie finishes off her article by stating that it would be definitely take the opportunity to read this book, Cindy's books, and by doing so, you'll become much better understanding of the Irish people, as well as taking a glimpse at the talent of a curly-haired Irish-Canadian storyteller right here in our own backyard. Unfortunately, I haven't read either one, but according to Annie, these are excellent novels that are done by a local author right
That's
here in town.
fantastic. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so every month or so, the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Quesnel gives us a report on what's going on with their organization. Recently, they've announced a spooktacular event this year, and that's their theme of their annual bowl-a-thon. They have many lane sponsors already on board, including All West Glass, Dunkley Lumber, West Fraser, and MLA Bob Simpson. If you'd like to participate in this event as a team or inquire about sponsorships, please give the Big Brothers and Big Sisters a shout, and they can be reached on their website, which we're going to be on your screen there. And again, we wish them all the best with this event. I can tell you I've participated twice with the bowl-a-thon. It's a lot of fun, raises a lot of money for a very good cause in our community.
It does. I have a connection with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. My wife was tied up with that organization, She was involved with that organization for many years. And I still participate in some of the events. There's a certain individual that keeps getting me involved in their golf tournament.
I see.
So I'll have to do that again this summer, I'm sure.
And I'll be joining you.
They have a lot of interesting events. I went to they have a bowl-a-thon. So there's a lot of events that help raise money that actually gets activities for the Big Brother, or for the Little Brothers and Little Sisters.
Fantastic.
So it's an excellent program.
Good stuff.
And talking about excellent programs, let's go to sports. The Kangaroos came oh so close was a headline, but Mitch, didn't Shakespeare say all's well that ends well?
I think he did.
Well, I don't think that's what the Kangaroos meant, but anyway, they did come close. They started out like a house on fire and ended up like a spark. And they lost all their games at the Koi Cup, but according to Coach Win Winoski, they played with a lot of heart, and the whole year that they've had was a huge learning experience, and they will be back next year. Team president Jack Marsh stated that they had some penalty problems, but it was no big deal. Well, Jack, your team led the whole league in penalty minutes. And as I said in previous broadcasts, you cannot score goals from the penalty box. Unfortunately, the other team is quite able to. So, Jack, I think that you did have a problem. Let's see a different team this next year. Back to you, Mitch. Oh, sorry, not to you.
Not to me.
No, because I still have some to talk about. And that's my other co-host. You know, the good-looking one?
Oh, right, yes.
Okay. And it's from Allison. And I'll just quickly touch on the email that she sent us. She does say she's sorry she hasn't gotten in touch with us beforehand, but it seems the internet was down at the hotel and the curling club. She says it was a couple of days, rough days. She had 2 losses, one to Northern Ontario in the morning and Manitoba in the afternoon. The Manitoba one went right down to the very last rock, she says. We have a morning game against Newfoundland and Labrador, and they came back to tie, but they lost in the last, as the last rock was picked off the ice and the rock in the house was exposed for the opposing skip to hit out for the win. It was heartbreaking. I won't remind her of that when she gets back. She also goes on to give us the site that you can go to, www.curling.ca, and you can check up on some of the scores there. She said she's going to keep in touch, and she gets home back here on the 26th, and she'll probably be able to co-host our show on Thursday if she's not too overwhelmed from all the throwing of rocks down there.
Well, that's too bad. Sounds like some heartbreaking losses there.
Yes, but
that's too bad.
It was nice of her to remember
Yeah.
us and give us some information as what she's doing, because I figure she's just down there having a good time myself.
Yeah. Great. Okay, well, just as a reminder, the Lions Club has distributed surveys and also put the word out in the community that should anyone want to fill out one of our long surveys, they can contact myself mitchellsvic@telus.net. It's also on your screen. I can certainly email you a long survey. We really think this is an important survey for the community to get involved with. We really want to get behind a big project going forward, and it's really important that the city and its residents and the community have a say in what they feel some of the needs are in our community. So as a reminder, the line survey is still going strong. We're getting great results. If you feel you would like to fill out a long survey, send me a note to the email on your screen there, and I'll get one to you immediately.
That's an excellent program that the Lions Club has taken up, and I hope that you do get a lot of returns on the survey. And as soon as the last one comes in, I want to see construction on an old age type housing unit, where, not for myself, of course, you know, but something for the future.
I hear
for
you.
yourself
It's a big,
and so forth,
topic I'm hearing about is seniors housing, for sure.
No, the Lions Club has always been excellent. So, no, I hope you have good results for your survey. And here's another reminder, free income tax is still being done. It started in March the 7th. You can do that through the Salvation Army on McLean Street. It runs from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. every Wednesday in March and April. And now let's take a look at our community calendar for some other happenings in our fair city.
Perfect. There's lots going on in our community. But Ron, are you ready to rumble?
To tell you the truth, Mitch, I didn't have anything to rumble about until I realized I had to leave early from an excellent hockey game. As you know, the Pee Wee Tier 3 BC Championships are being held here in Quesnel. And the gold hockey game was on today between Whistler and Vanderhoof. And you talk about two well-matched teams. There was 10 minutes and 56 seconds left, and I had to leave to come here to do this, to support you and be with you.
I appreciate it, Ron.
You owe me big time.
Done deal.
Not only me, but my wife, because my wife didn't want to leave. She wanted to watch the rest of that hockey game. So that's a very light rumbling, and also a good promotion for the Pee Wee hockey team, that event that really went over really well. There was quite a few people there. I was quite impressed.
That's great.
So, but I do have a thought for today.
Okay.
You know, most people walk in and out of your life, but friends always leave a footprint in your heart. So there you go, my friend.
Thank you. Beautiful thought. Thanks, Ron. Well, that's it for our show today, folks. You can contact us by our new email, again, at qtoday@qcatv.ca, to give us some feedback or give us a tip on any news you think we should be talking about on our show. If you'd like some information about sponsoring or being a volunteer, you can also contact us via email, or you can give Nate a shout, Nate Bello, at 992-3650, or call the station and leave a message for John McKenzie at 992-8363.
And Q Today is produced by QMAG, the Quesnel Media Access Group, and you can also watch us on the internet on Quesnel Community Access TV. The website is www.qcatv.ca and is run by our colleague Eddie D'Souza. Mitch.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, our purpose is to get conversation going for Quesnel by Quesnel.
Bye for now.